Please like, subscribe, and share the Sweatshop Podcast on the HTW Podcast Network. We are now on Anchor FM and on Spotify, Facebook, and back on YouTube. You can look us up. Our handle is at the Sweatshop Pod, or you can just type in the Sweatshop Podcast. We gon' be on there. And please enjoy the show. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Sweatshop Podcast on the HTW Network Podcast Network. It is me, your host, Sweats, and my co-host, the Maestro. What up, dude?
Hey, not much. It is Frog Sport Week.
It is Frog Sport Week, and we'll talk about how much I fucked up in a little bit.
Oh, you did.
I fucked up.
Somewhat.
But we gotta talk about this shit first. All 420. All 420, mind you. Derek Chauvin, is that how you pronounce his name?
I think. But what is it fucking
It's irrelevant.
matter?
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He was guilty on all charges. And it was nice to see. But everybody's been saying, and it's the truth, that, there's still work to be done, lots of work to be done as far as just... I'm not going to get into the debate about whether we should defund the police or, abolish the police or those sort of things, because that's not my avenue nor my skill set. Like, that's not something I know enough about one way or the other to make a conscious decision to say, oh yeah, we should defund the police or abolish the police. I understand the concept, but what we really need to do is make sure the police are held accountable for their actions when they do shit. That's really what this is about. And I'm just even talking about like shit on the street. Like, let's say a cop is being overly aggressive. Like, obviously sometimes you got to use force, but that's why we have these videotapes out here. We got these body cams. We can determine if the cop is being overly excessive or not. And then they should be tried like a regular ass person. Just like Derek was. He killed somebody. He's going to go to jail for murder. And I don't know how long he's going to get. I'm assuming the judge will probably make an example out of him, because this is a thing that somebody should make an example out of in this situation, and probably should be going away for the maximum or close to it, in my opinion. I can't see it any other way, just like I didn't see the verdict any other way, because they had this motherfucker on camera killing a dude. Like, if the dude wasn't on camera killing the dude, he might have got off. And it's a strong possibility that he might have got off.
Well, yeah, because there would have been no evidence.
Well, there would have been witnesses, but the witnesses don't matter.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Because then sometimes witnesses, especially depending on, what color the witnesses are,
right?
It comes down to a he said, she said,
correct
thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much clout the witnesses can hold.
Isn't that wild though? Like, people get tried for murder and get convicted off of witness statements and things of such.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But like, it's a fact that if this was not on tape, literally on tape, all caught on tape.
Yeah, there was a chance that
from beginning to end,
it would not have been guilty on all charges.
Right.
That's for sure. I'll tell you that much right now.
Exactly. That's facts. I mean,
I think it was too clear.
Yeah.
But here was my problem.
Yeah.
Is that like it almost seemed like the dude knew it was coming and he didn't give a shit. And like I don't know if it was because he was trying to act tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I'm not saying like he needs to be a bawling, crying baby or shit. Like that's no good look either. But like the expression on his face was not like
he knew it was coming.
But like it's almost like he. But the thing is, like it's almost like like if he knew it was coming, then it's like he knew what he did.
Yeah, no, he knows what he did. He knows what he did. That's the thing.
But that is the problem right there.
Yeah,
that's people like that.
Yes,
in amongst the police that are doing good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, there are really good police out there, and I know I've known and met many a good police officer in my life.
But that's the problem,
right? Is
that like the entire system protects those guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Unless you start to get these body cams and all that kind of shit and whatnot. Like I don't know. Did you hear about the? Did we talk about this last week or did
what's
I don't
that
know.
Now?
There was another case of where another person of color was shot by a police officer, but the story was that the officer thought they were grabbing their taser.
And
they grabbed the taser, and they, instead of shooting the taser, they shot the person, and they still thought they tased him. Person got up, got in their car, and like died right after because they shot him. And then like you watch the footage, and the police officer was like, "Oh my God, I shot him!" Like legitimately thinking that she did pull out the taser. Right. You know, there's different levels to this.
Yes, there are levels.
Like,
there are levels.
I'm not going to get into all the levels of that particular instance. You know what I mean?
That's just negligence on your job, not understanding that you just pulled out a taser and not a...
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not getting into all that because like that's not what this is about right now.
Yeah.
Even though some people probably would try to make
what happened there are levels to this. That's not what that's about. There are levels to this.
But that's what I'm saying. That's not what this is about. It's not about negligence anymore. No. It's about this dude straight up knew what the fuck he was doing.
Correct.
So like the fact that it was involuntary.
And this is the problem in general, right? If any of those three other officers would have stopped him from doing what he was doing, none of this would have had to happen.
Well, and I think they're getting tried too.
They are
as accomplices.
They
right?
are. Well, though I don't know I don't know what the
or whatever. I don't know how I don't either. But they're getting tried.
They are getting tried. It's gonna be a different vibe. But that's the thing, though. That's the problem with the police force in general. It's like it's a cult. Like it's a cult.
I mean, I mean, if you're gonna, I would say if you're looking at it in a way, it's like a brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it is. It's like a brotherhood where it's almost like a no matter what type of thing, you got to have each other's back.
Listen, if you were straight up, I'm just telling you no right now. If you're straight up murdering somebody on the street, I would probably stop you. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
I'd be like, bro, maybe not.
But that's the difference between like somebody who actually has like a moral high ground and somebody who might not. You know what I mean? Like it's just a shame that some of those people would value that sort of brotherhood and shit. And I do understand to a point that they need to have each other's back and trust each other and shit like that. So,
sure.
But when you see one of your own doing something that's clearly not right, that is, and like you can prevent it. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing if like let's say he was you know using his knee and choking the dude on the ground, but then like the other 3 police officers were fighting off like 100 people.
Right.
Okay, then you can't really stop the dude.
Right.
But like you got 3 other police officers around. Clearly, this one dude has got the big man down. And you're not doing shit about it to be like, hey, bro, like, come on. Like, I don't think that's necessary.
Right.
Like, just being like, hey, you know what? Like, let him off. We're here. Like, we're here. If he tries to pull shit, you got 3 other guys here.
Yep.
We're here for you. Yep. You know what I mean? So, like, you know,
the fact that none of it made anybody uncomfortable in that moment, like, is almost startling. Like, I would have been super uncomfortable.
And who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe it will come out that one of them or many of them felt that way, but they didn't. They just didn't say anything, or you know, they didn't do anything about it because of that fact. It could come out that way,
right,
or it couldn't. You know what I mean? Like it could go either way at this point.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to come up with catchy phrases too, man. Like I can breathe now and stuff like that. I don't know. Like it's just we need to stop with this shit. Like to be honest with you, like these catchphrases and shit. Like
no, I mean I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to marginalize this at all, but like some people are trying to do this to like sell merch. And shit.
For sure. They're selling merch, all types
of
shit.
Because sometimes these movements and shit, they can drum up money,
100%.
And if they use the money toward good things,
right? All those proceeds go to
what I mean?
So, right?
That's fine.
That's good.
But
like, you know that ain't happening like all the time,
right. The main thing that's got to happen is people have to put in the work to continue this to go forward. You know what I mean? Like we can't kind of stay stagnant here, and we can't take steps backwards.
And here's the thing: everybody, and this is where I stand on this, and there's no wiggle room. Everybody should want that exact same thing to happen to Derek. Like everybody should have wanted him to be convicted of murder. And that was sitting on the sidelines.
Because if you murder somebody,
right,
like that's like there's no.
He was not resisting anymore. His ass was on the ground. Like I mean, he was just trying to showboat.
But that's how they get some of those things is like they're trying to say he was resisting. Right. It's like
he was possibly, but after he was on the ground, he's on the ground. There's no more resisting.
But there's also sometimes where like. Like let's say somebody was pulled over, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're getting arrested. It's like, why the fuck am I getting arrested for getting pulled over? Because you have expired tags.
Right.
Like I've been pulled over for expired tags before.
Right.
My ass didn't get arrested.
Right.
Or like, the registration. Like
sure.
I've been pulled over for that before. The guy just said, get this fixed. You're going to pay this fine. That's it.
Yep.
But a person of color, that's going to be much scarier for than me. You know what I mean? Like it's just the unfortunate way of how it is. Like I was not concerned that my life was in jeopardy at that point, but for a lot of people of color, as soon as they are pulled over by a police officer or stopped by a police officer, I feel like I don't know this for sure, but I feel like that is a thought that crosses their mind.
Dude, it's always
is this the time? I don't have. Me, as a white male, I do not have to be fearful for my life unless I'm doing something completely wrong. You know what I mean? Like, unless I am fucking murdering people or whatever.
Dude.
But for people of color, that's a real fear. Is that even getting pulled over for expired registration or a license or speeding ticket?
I had this many a conversation.
You might be feared for your life. Yeah. And that's not that. And that right there is just not right in general. And I don't know if enough people realize that.
Yeah, it is true. Like it's always in the back of my mind in some form or fashion as far as police officers go. Like it always has been that way. My dad's my dad's a former cop for 30 years, but he knew better. Like he knows. Like he knew that. He said, hey, protect yourself. Make sure you doing all that stuff because he knows like not everybody's gonna be a good cop. Like he understands that. He understood that, there's these bad folks, bad guys in the world. Like, 'cause probably most cops are probably really good guys. Yeah. But, again, you got those dudes on the force, but here's the thing. If you got these dudes on the force that are a little too excessive or a little too whatever, you got to rein that shit in. It could be a brotherhood, whatever, but you got to tell those motherfuckers to stop. Like as a brotherhood,
it's the inner accountability,
right?
And I think that piece is missing.
Yes, it is.
So like I know you said like you don't want to get into the talk of defunding police and all that kind of shit. Like before we go to those measures, I think it really does start from within.
It has
like
to.
They had like the people on that force and the people in that group, the brotherhood, whatever you want to call it, they've got to be the ones holding each other accountable. That's like if you like, let's say you're a teacher, right? And there's another teacher that's doing a piss poor job,
right?
Are you just gonna let them kind of keep doing a piss poor job and like let the kids do whatever the hell they want, run amok, all this shit,
right?
Or are you gonna be like, hey, like they shouldn't really be doing that, like for example, if they're like like here's a COVID example, is like if one teacher doesn't give a shit whether the kids have their masks on or not, when like that should be a non-negotiable, is that when you're inside the building, the kids got to wear a mask. But if you have a teacher that's like, yeah, you know what, I don't give a shit, because they don't give a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, that's not okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, so it's the same way. You got to hold, they've got to hold each other accountable in those ways. And I feel like there's not enough of that, because they're like, well, if I say something to this guy, then when we're on the patrol together, they might not have my back, and then I'll just be fucked. And then like, you know what I mean? Which I could get as sort of a delicate balance, because like when you are a police officer, when you go out on a call, there is always the possibility it escalates to a point where
absolutely,
things are deadly, and that's a scary thing.
That is a real thing for a police officer. Absolutely.
And I am not pretending to know what that's like.
Right.
I'm not pretending to know. I'm not pretending to know the right answer.
Right.
But you also have to be goddamn adults about shit and just be like, listen, we might have a disagreement on this shit, but like at the end of the day, if you're in a situation where you're like about to die and shit, like I'm gonna have your back.
I'm gonna have your back.
Right. But I'm also not going to let you be a dickhead and like be an asshole to people. Right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because I think that doesn't have to come from a place of hatred or a place like it can come from a place of love. It's like, hey, I want you to be better.
Right.
So I'm going to hold you accountable to my standards.
Absolutely.
Because this is what I would want in my community. So like if I want to be treated this way, like this is how I'm going to treat all these other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like if you hold all of your other brothers or sisters or whatever you want to call it to that standard, then I feel like the inner policing of the police will be better. It doesn't have to be. Then we don't have to defund anybody. We don't have to do any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to take those measures because you're just trusting adults to be goddamn adults. But that's the thing, is adults don't seem to want to be adults. They seem to they have their own agendas. They want to do their own shit.
Everything's an agenda,
this is the kind of bullshit that happens.
Everything is an agenda. Everything's is something. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like for me, these police officers, again, like I don't know their family or their lives or whatever, everything like that. I don't know their skill or what they've done in the past or anything. They could have been model citizens up till that moment. I'm talking about the 3 accomplices or accessories or whatever you want to fucking call them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I personally don't even know the background of the dude who fucking murdered him.
No idea.
Was he an openly racist person beforehand? Did he just have some kind of vendetta? Like,
see, here's the thing about that stuff is that I think a lot of these cops don't know they're racist until they're in these situations. Like, I feel like a lot of them are like, oh yeah, no, I'm friends with Joe, and Joe down the street is cool. He's black. He's my friend, right? But then when shit goes down in the hood, like, do you treat it the same way you would, elsewhere in the suburbs or something like that? Or do you treat it with a different type of hostility? Do you treat that specific situation with a different type of vibe? And if you do that, then you got to look within and be like, oh, maybe I do have some sort of like prejudice of some sort. Like a lot of people, I truly believe it. Like some people really don't think they do until
I know
it is a thing. And it's like, oh shit, I am racist or I am prejudiced or whatever the situation may be.
Well, I think everybody has a little bit of it.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I'm guilty of it. Now, I'm not somebody who's like, obviously I'm not like over on that side of shit. You know what I mean? Right. But like did I grow up in an area that kind of thought that way, and not necessarily that I was raised this way, but just like the surroundings that I grew up in. Well, yeah, facts. Yeah, but I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about like just my community in general. Because if you know the community I grew up in, that would tell you all you need to know.
Right.
And like how I'm actually an anomaly of that community.
Right.
But like, there's still some things that from being raised in that community in that area, like there are some things that subconsciously I grew up thinking that turn out to be prejudices, and
Right.
I have to actively think of those, like, okay, oh shit, no, like that's not right. Like, why am I doing this? That's not okay.
Hey.
And then you as a person have to grow and learn from that and fix that, so that that's not something that like is normal in your life. You know what I mean? And I feel like not enough people do that self reflection of like, okay, let me see what are some things that like trigger me in some ways. Like, how some people like don't like to go to the city. Well, it's like, why don't you like to go to the city? Because it's too busy? No, because you think of like crime and shit and all that kind of stuff. It's like, nah, cities are fucking beautiful.
Right.
Like, there's so many parts of cities that are so beautiful. Right. You're missing out on so much of a city because you're thinking of like one area that's not so great.
Right.
Like, just don't go to that area that you don't think is so great.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's a lot of those type of things that are prejudices. You know what I mean?
It's funny
because when you think of those terrible areas of the cities, you don't think, oh, those fucking white people trash the city.
Right.
I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's true. No, I mean, there's a whole story behind like why black people are in the ghetto in the first place. Like, there's a reason why they're there in the first place. It's not on their own volition. Like,
because they want to be like, you know what, this looks shitty. Let me live here.
Right.
Yeah. No, like, nobody who actually would do that. Who would actually do that?
They
like,
had
seriously.
a thriving black community in fucking Tulsa. And they burnt that shit down to the goddamn ground because they were thriving. Like, that's what was happening. So when you're in a situation like, why are these like, oh, I don't like this, this area. Like, dude, like they don't want to be in that fucking area either. Like, they don't want to live like that.
Who wants to actually do that? I have not met a person that actually wants to be like, you know what, I want to live there. Like, I want to do that.
Right. Live this hood life. Like, now don't get me wrong. Like, black people made it real cool. So the hood lifestyle is a thing. Nobody actually wants to actually live there though.
No, but they want to,
the culture though.
But they embrace the culture. That's right. They embrace the hood culture.
No. You don't want to live in the hood, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's like looking at like kids that don't quite understand that. And they're like, yeah, man, I'm so ghetto. I'm like, dude, nah, you're so meadow. Like, you're not even close to the city. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh,
like,
man.
You got no idea.
No, it's a different vibe. Just go up to North Philly sometime, man. Just check that shit out. Go up in Baltimore sometime. Check that. You don't want to live there, bro.
Yeah. No.
Like, that's some shit you do not want to fuck with. Believe me.
And the people who are there probably don't want to be there.
They don't want to be there either, you know what I mean? But they don't know how to get out. The education system's fucked. They ain't got a lot of fucking job because they get a lot of them have criminal records. Their fucking families are broken.
Some of them literally can't get out. They might know how to, but they can't.
It's hard to.
They can't because of one way or another.
One way or the other.
Once you kind of go, like, once you're kind of in a certain path of life,
right? It's hard to break the mold.
There. It is. It's super hard.
Every now and then you see somebody like break free, and you're like, "Hey," you know what I mean? Like, hey,
and it's the system, right? But it's the systems in place that hold these people in those places.
Systemic racism. That's why it's called that, because it starts all the way through. Like, you know what I mean? It's all the way. And the reason they were there in the first place is not because of like, oh,
choice.
Let's move.
It's not because of choice.
Let's move over here. You know what I mean? Like, no, man, that's not what happened. Okay.
Yeah. It's not like all of a sudden they were freed as slaves and go, all right, let's start a shitty town. Right. No, like, that's not how it works.
It's a lot of shit, man. It's a lot of shit. It's so much to unpack in that in these areas. That's why a lot of people don't understand. And that's why you got to enlighten yourself. Even if you think you might understand, like a lot of folks just really don't understand, like, exactly the whole, like, why is this even a thing? Like the hood and the ghetto and all this type of shit. Like, now there's white people in the ghetto too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's white folks up in there too. Like, they're, but they come off a hard luck in their life and shit like that. And got nowhere else place to go. They got to go to the hood. You know what I mean? Get that shit together like that. And then you had like the Section 8 housing, like where they take people like from the hood and bring them to like the burbs in that area, in those type of situations. But the problem with that is that they've only known how to live one way. Like, so they've been living this type of way. Now you bring them up into the suburbs, they ain't living that like that. Like, you know what I mean? And and they're like they're not accustomed to living in this type of way. Like my family is not from the hood. We got a little country town and stuff like that where lots of shit went down, but not from the hood. Like neither side of my folks are from the hood. I grew up in the suburbs. I don't know about that life. I know a little bit about that life. Some of my family members live in the hood. I visited family members in the hood. My dad worked in the hood, so I was over there quite a bit, handling and just watching and observing. But I never lived there. That's different. That's different. Living it is an entirely different thing. I didn't do that. I grew up in the fucking suburbs. Both my parents were very, very successful because their parents were very successful. You know what I mean? So like they overcame so they could be. You know what I mean? Like they did extra so they could be where they are. Actually, my entire family essentially is like not even in that on that level. Like my whole family is like burbs. You know what I mean? There's no hood. Like it's all burbs. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that because it started from whoever was very, very successful from Jump Street. Like my great aunt Mildred was like part of that NASA group. Like back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. Like she's part of that NASA group back in the day and shit.
Like what was that movie? The Hidden Figures?
Yeah.
Like that shit?
Exactly.
That's badass.
Yeah. She part of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, if you think about that shit, like, that's where that's at. You know what I mean? That's where, that was like my great aunt. Like, that's what the fuck she was doing with her life, you know? Like, I just think about, like, all the people, like, a lot of my family members, like, my grandfather was in the army. Like, my grandfather was in the army and shit. Both of them, actually. I think both of them are in the army, matter of fact. Both of them were in the military. I don't want to say army. I'll just say military, like way back in the day and shit. So it was my grandmother. That's how they met. I'm pretty sure. So like, you know, I mean, a lot of successful things happen, you know, for those people to thrive through. Like they weren't living in the greatest areas, but like, you know, they had to be successful. So my mom could be successful, get her CPA and do all these things, and she had to deal with all the racism back in the day. Like everybody, you know. Like I'm the first. I think I'm the first guy in my immediate family, the first guy to graduate college from my immediate family. Like we're old. Like we just had this recent conversation. I think it's like 4 generations away from slavery or something like that from our family. Some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that far. Like, you know, it's not that far. Like at least I think I'm the 4th generation. Because my mother, my grandmother, and then before then, yeah, that's right. Because my grandmother was born in 1918 or 1912, some shit like that.
That makes sense.
So then right before then, yeah, yep.
Wow.
So it's not far removed from that, and it's reality. Like that's, and even though it's like it seems like so long ago, it's just like it's not. Like it's not that long ago. So thinking about those things that had happened all the way through, boom, 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 and then where we are, like, and I had this whole conversation about like this video. Like the only reason things changed in the first place is because the shit was caught on tape. Like all that shit, like when the dogs, like when they had the dogs and the fucking fire hydrants, and you've seen that clip before with the hoses and the dogs and shit. Like that changed a lot of shit. JFK was like and then like he was trying to change some shit about that. You know what I mean? And all those people were like, and that started there, and tried to get some things changed because of that. Like because they saw that bullshit, they were like, oh, we didn't know it was like that. A lot of people in the country were like, oh, we didn't know it was like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like an eye opening thing for them. Like, oh, we didn't know it was like that bad. We just thought, you know, whatever they thought. We didn't know Jim Crow was like that.
Right.
And then, like, you know, fast forward to, like, the Rodney King shit. Like, Rodney King was getting his ass whooped on tape. Like, that's the only reason it happened. Only reason this shit happened because it was on tape. Like, nobody pays attention until it's on tape. Damn, there's another one, too. You can go to the Ray Rice shit. Like, Ray Rice. Like, Ray Rice is banned from the league. And I think other people have done way worse in between that time, but they haven't been on tape.
Right. Yeah, there's no video evidence.
No evidence. You know what I mean?
Sucker punch that. Bam.
Yeah. Bam.
Gone.
And then dragged her. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And they still married, I think. That's crazy. But just because, like, that's all on tape, like, that's shocking. Like, that stuff is shocking. So that's why they have these body cams. So we know. So you hold yourself accountable, hold your crew accountable, your teammates. Why would you want to get in trouble? Just fucking do the right thing. I know sometimes the right thing is very hard in certain stressful situations. But the George Floyd shit was not a stressful situation.
Right.
Neither is a 12-year-old with a handgun. Neither is a dude selling fucking cigarettes on the you know what I mean? Like, those are not stressful situations.
None of these require actual
Absolutely
deployment of
not.
firearms or any tactics that like.
Let's chill with the force, okay?
Yeah.
Let's fit the crop. Let's make the things happen. Like, now, if the dude murdered 2 or 3 people, okay.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Now we're okay. But see, even still, motherfuckers been mass murdering motherfuckers. They still getting put in handcuffs. Boop, click.
Right.
Like, nobody's dying out here from that shit. So,
well, the only way they die is if they kill themselves.
If they kill themselves,
but they've killed 9 people, and now they're like, no, we're not going to kill you. But yet,
yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what I don't. Understand.
That's what I don't understand. Like, that's
you know why? Difference. You know why it is,
right?
Because we need more true crime podcasts.
Oh shit, that's facts. I know my one friend is obsessed with that shit. So
that's why. Because we need those people's stories for the podcast, or else none of these stories.
Yeah, shout out.
No, that's a really fucking terrible joke.
No, but it's true though.
It's horrible. Like, and that's what that shit gets me too though. Like, I am not into that.
Listen, I would love to listen. I've had a conversation like that's a little too much for me. Like, I watch some true crime things.
It's like the whole mass murdering and shit that, and then they get like T-shirts and shit.
I know, it's a lot.
You're glorifying these people who have killed people,
right? Yeah, I don't know.
That makes no sense. That's a white people thing. That makes no sense to me. And I hate it. I hate it.
Very much white person.
I hate it about my people. But but that is a white people thing. And I don't like it. I don't like one bit of it.
I don't like it.
I don't understand it. I don't like it. Like, okay, hearing the stories on the news and whatever, but like, literally there's podcasts upon podcasts about all this shit, and then it like dives into like the psyche. I'm like, yeah, they're fucking crazy. Yeah. What else you need to know?
How far do you want to go down that rabbit hole before you get all fucked up?
Yeah, like, I don't need to know that they like did drugs, or I don't need to know that they were bullied, or I don't need to know that all this bullshit's happening. Right. Like I don't need that. They're fucking crazy because they just opened fire. Like, you know, they just fucking killed like 8 people and didn't give a shit about it.
Right.
Because they just went nuts because of like something bad's happened. Could you imagine if a person of color did that? I mean, it doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen that much. That's for damn sure. Like, it's a very rare occurrence. That's the one thing I want to talk about. Or did we talk about that last week?
What?
That one dude killed that one black dude who had CTE. We talked about that last week.
We did talk about that last week.
That's like a rare occurrence.
Well, but again, CTE.
That's true.
You're not going to hear about that on a true crime podcast.
No. That's
it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
That's not fun enough. No.
Yeah, that's not crazy enough. They want to hear about like the shit where he's like carving names on walls and like sticking voodoo dolls and shit like that. Like, just weird ass shit.
Yeah. No, it's fucked up.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Sorry if that like demotes my standing amongst any ladies who love the true crime podcast shit. But
you know what? You know the amount of women who love that true crime podcast.
Oh, shit? So many.
There are so many.
That's because they're all crazy. That's why.
That's true.
Bitches be crazy,
dude. It's like that. Let's just be real about it, man.
Listen, I can handle a little crazy.
Listen, the crazy hot ratio better be off through the roof. I can't play games like that.
It's facts. You do. It does have to be.
Yeah, you can't be crazy and meh. You better be fire. You Everything else better be balling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No, but
Yeah, you can't be crazy and homely.
This has been, it was really funny because I hadn't watched any of the trial because all I know it would do is make me mad. Like I just don't.
Yep.
I can't watch shit like that because I even forgot so much to the point like I forgot that the trial was like they were actually doing the sentencing to that day, right? And all that shit. So I'm sitting there and then I get a text from one of my friends and she was like, "Hey, I'm so nervous." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Nervous about what?" I said, "Fuck. That's happening right now." So then all my mind was I got nervous. I got nervous because she got nervous, and the damn thing is happening, and I forgot all about it. Because she was like, "Everybody, have you been watching the coverage?" I was like, "Fuck no, dude. I have to work and I have to do shit. Like I can't be immersed in that bullshit, man. Like I already know what the fuck happened. Like I saw it. Like I don't want to see it again. I don't want to like. I can't imagine really trying to relive that shit. I wasn't even a part of it. Like so, like just." I don't want to see the testimony. I don't want to see lying from the defense. I don't, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to see any of that bullshit. I just want to see the end result. Yep. That's it. And I did get my end result.
Yeah.
So
did.
And again, I think they had something else happen with somebody else, Michaela, but I don't think that was the same scenario. Something else happened with that whole situation.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story.
I don't know the whole story, so I'm not gonna speak on it. I just know a lot of people. Like as soon as a black person dies, like really reality. As soon as a black person dies, there's gonna be a hashtag. Just get used to it. Like I mean, I'm just saying, by the hands of the police, if a black person dies, there's gonna be a hashtag. Yeah. Whether it's justified or not, we don't know. I don't know if it was justified or not. But we always are on the side of this what the fuck happened type of shit when things go down. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't know, because I don't know. But there's levels to it. Just like you were saying earlier, like not all things are created equal. Not everything's a George Floyd. Right. Not every, like we just got to understand that there needs to be changes.
Well, like that's the thing is like it's like, you know, the system has made it so much so that it is dependent on the color of someone's skin,
right,
or their background. Whereas we just need to look at the situation and be like, okay, what happened? Like, regardless of whether this person, you know, didn't do anything beforehand, like they've been a model citizen up to this point, or, you know, maybe they got a couple speeding tickets, or maybe they have like a couple drug charges, whatever it is. Like,
right.
We need to look at it more so and be like, well, what's the crime here? Rather than like, oh, well, this person's clearly a criminal, where it's like, but if it's like drug charges, especially like marijuana drug charges and shit, like those are like harmless as fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, yes, they're a criminal technically, but like when you look at the crimes, it ain't shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's people that do worse that have not been charged with anything because of the nature of their situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, it's just a matter of looking at the situation, not looking at a person's color of skin or anything like that, orientation, whatever you want to call it, but just look at the goddamn situation.
Please. And
just be like, okay, this person killed somebody. They need to be put in jail. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter where you come from. Fuck it. It has no bearing. You go to jail. Like, that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you get the same amount of sentencing or whatever as whomever else. But that's like, we've had that inequity for so long that we come to expect it,
right?
You know, which is why everybody for this thing, like, even though we should have known that he would have been guilty on all accounts, too many people were like, I didn't even know if he'd be guilty on one count because of precedent and shit like that. That's not right. Like, that's not right, but it's because of how. It's almost like we've almost been conditioned this way.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
Personally, I expected it to be this way because this is how I viewed it. I said, if he is found innocent on any of this, we are fucked. That's how I felt about it. Like, I mean, we as a society are fucked. If he is,
or it just shows the true colors. That's the thing. Yeah. It shows the true colors of the system.
I just think
if he was
like, I mean, there was no way that all 12 jurors were going to vote the other way. I could personally see a hung jury maybe, but they're going to have to retry. Eventually, this dude's going to get fucking in prison. Like, it's no way. Like, to me, there is no way. Unless we found out that George Floyd had fucked his wife and his mom and his brother. Like, or some shit like that. Like, or some weird scenario where it's like a revenge, so maybe, but none of that shit happened.
Right.
None of that shit happened. Nothing weird happened between those two. Except this dude was on a fucking power trip, got caught up in his own bullshit, left his fucking knee on his neck, not knowing he was killing the dude, or maybe he did and didn't care.
Right.
And then he's dead. Right? Now, it's not going to be first-degree murder because it's not first-degree murder. He didn't plan and plot on killing this motherfucker. But he willingly put his knee on his fucking neck for a long fucking period of time. Which is not good.
No.
I've seen motherfuckers putting their knees on their neck before, but they take that motherfucker off. Once they say, hey, then you say, okay. You good? Okay. Because you're just sitting there on there like that. That's craziness. But yeah, it's disturbing. I hope a lot of people have really just, especially the police forces and everything like that. And I just hope it continues to happen. Like, that's what I just hope it continues to happen in this way where, because things will happen. Let's just be real. Like, you're going to hear about some shit. It's going to happen about 2 more times this year where 2 or 3 more times this year where somebody's got shot when they're not really sure if it happened on the legit, right? And there's going to be an investigation and see if it was legit or not. If it was legit, it was legit. But they should have videotape. Like, everybody should have body cams. There should be no reason why, all this shit is not on tape. So, regardless of the situation, hey, if this happens, boom. Okay, let's take a look at it. What happened in this scenario? Boom, boom. Was it righteous or was it not? And a lot of times when somebody kills somebody, shoots somebody, a lot of times it's not righteous. Let's just be real. To be 100%. Unless it's a fucking shootout, that shit is not righteous. Or unless you're trying to save somebody else's life. That shit is not righteous. To take your gun out and to shoot somebody, you need a lot of bullshit to go wrong. You need a lot of bullshit to go wrong, man. You just can't be going out and firing your gun. This is not. They're watching too many of these fucking shows on television where they always shooting everybody. You watch too many of these police shows. Nobody pulls out their gun like that. Like that? That's crazy. That's just a fucking show, man. That's for goddamn show. Motherfucker. But yeah. Oh, we can move on from that. I just wanted to spend some time on it because that was a big deal.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge deal.
It's a big deal in the world, and I hope things will get better from this. I'm a pessimistic guy when it comes to these sort of things. Just this sort of thing. I'm optimistic in other things, but like this sort of shit, like I need to see things really start to change. Like I haven't had, like me personally, I've had some weird things happen with the police and stuff like that, maybe once or twice in my life, but I always, I'm pretty like charming, I guess, in a way. So then, therefore, things don't happen to me in those things. Like a lot of times I get away with some shit, like, or whatever. Like I've gotten away with warnings and things like that because I'm charming. Plus, I'm light skinned. It helps.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it does. I wear glasses. I'm light skinned. Like I talk. I don't talk with some slang shit. I don't have that type of talk. Like when I'm talking. So I don't really do anything like that. So, like when I'm talking, I don't sound like I'm from the hood. I don't sound like I'm from any type of shit. I wear glasses. I'm light skinned. Like I can get away with that shit, man. Like I get away with more than a dark skinned dude. George Floyd was dark skinned. Like he's dark.
Yeah.
Like he really was. I mean, it does make a difference, too. It does make a difference. There's even racism within the black community about dark skin and light skin folks. Like that shit is a thing too.
Sure.
That shit is a thing. So, yeah, it gets real. It gets wild, man. Because I don't know what it is about skin color. People get all weird about that shit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
It
Like
gets
just because
weird.
it's the first visible difference, is that why? And we have to like all be put in categories, like
Maybe
because
it's the first thing you see.
I know humans need labels.
Yeah,
Like for whatever for organization, for structure, we label things.
right.
So is that why? Because it's the most noticeable first thing you see is
Possibly.
oh, clearly that person's different than me. You know what I mean? Like you just see white. You're like, okay, they have different hair than me, or like, okay, they have different. You know what I mean? Like, but then like you see if I'm a white person and I see a black person, it's like, oh, okay, it's like clearly different from me. But like, why does that make it so that we have hatred? That's
Right.
what I don't understand.
Yeah,
like it's okay to be different. It's okay to be
know.
different. It's okay to embrace heritages and be different. It's okay. It's totally okay for that. In fact, I think that's the way it should be.
Right.
But why does it have to bring about hatred? Like why because you're black, or because you're Hispanic, or because you're Asian, or
Right.
because you're white, does that mean like somebody hates you when they don't know you?
Yeah.
That's what I just don't understand
It's
across the
again,
board.
it's just one of those things that is hard to like really like it again. That's a deeper conversation. Like it gets deep as fuck because I mean you can really go down the goddamn rabbit hole if you wanted to with this shit because it's a lot. It's a lot when you talk about like racism and just like that internal the struggle.
And I think yeah.
with
I mean,
that.
yeah. But I think it's also
everybody.
because there's people that, for whatever reason, there's people that don't know what to do with their free time, and so they butt into other people's shit, and they just can't keep their shits to themselves, or just like let people be. You know what I mean? Like, even if I disagree with somebody, I'm not like up their ass about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not posting on Facebook on everybody's walls I disagree with and all this other bullshit.
No,
I'm just like, all right, fuck, just like whatever. You go do you.
Right.
I mean, as long as I'm not like trying to have dinner, you know what I mean, and you're like spouting off your bullshit while I'm trying to eat, like,
right.
I don't care.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Well,
I don't
that's
care.
the thing. Like, that's why.
Like, there's like that's what I'm saying. Like, the hatred and shit comes from people caring about dumb things, and it's like, it just spirals, and it's like, fucking find a hobby.
Right.
Like, just find a hobby. Like, you won't even think about racism. You wouldn't even think about any of that shit if you just found a goddamn hobby.
It's so weird.
Like find something to do. Like occupy yourself with something that you like.
That's one of the things I really liked about
like,
not
mind
being
your own
in my
damn
situation, business. Like, you know, before, like prior, like my marriage and everything like that. Like, there's no way we just survived like this whole like George Floyd Trump shit. Like in that setting in that area with that family, bro. Like it would have been a fucking shitstorm. I know it. Like, like it just wouldn't have worked out. All right, like, bro, like it can't be this way. Like, even if it had worked out up until that point, that shit would have got real weird real fast. Because it's just that. I just think about it. I just thank goodness I'm not in that situation over there. Because that's a lot of people got weird over there, man. I'm telling you. So whatever. But it just reminds me of that because it's just like, ugh. People posting on other people's walls and like, you know, just eating dinner and some weird shit. Because that's what that would literally be happening. Like I'm sitting here eating like dinner at the house or whatever, and then they bring up some shit. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, like why? No, don't do this. Yeah, don't do this.
Can we just talk about some shit? Can we just talk about something else? Like, come on, tell me how your day was. Tell me school. Like, you know, like I don't want to I don't want to even talk about it. Nope. Whew. I'm telling you, it's a lot to unpack. We might revisit that another day down the line if something else pops up. Because that's just a deep ass conversation. It really is. It gets real deep.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's like real deep.
Well, let's get rid of that real quick. Let's bounce over to something more exciting. This frog sport has popped off
Did.
The
tournament has begun.
It has begun. It has begun. And boy, oh boy, did my first opening round of fucking matches, I sucked all the balls. Bro.
You did. Not a good look.
It was not a good look at all. Yoya fucked up Boomer Hatfield.
He did.
My goodness.
What about it? New camper. Yoya coming in, making a big statement.
Big ass statement, man. Just got him with them punches, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He leveled him.
Caught up.
He leveled him real good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was very, very impressive. And I'll say I cannot wait to see the next round.
Yeah.
With him and Jordan Blade.
Yeah, I fucked that up too.
Did because you thought it would be Boomer and Molly,
did.
They are two tried and true Camp Leapfrog people, but
but these newcomers,
came in strong,
made a statement, goddamn,
big time statement. Yeah,
made a statement, and I was wrong about Bones. My man did not have his voodoo.
No, I was hoping for more voodoo, but it's that voodoo that you do not do.
He did not do it so well this time.
He did not. Yeah. He did not do the voodoo that he does so well.
Violence got in that ass.
But he got him. Yeah. Caught him with a kick.
Yep.
Caught him with a kick right to the head.
Yep.
Dunsky.
Yep.
But you did successfully get Mac Mikowski.
I did.
Although it was tough. That was a tough one. I mean, that was back and forth.
Yep.
That could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And Blackstrom.
I thought it might have. I was like, ooh, that looked like it might be a little tough.
It was, yeah. I mean, Blackstrom put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Hell of a fight. But, I mean, Mikowski, damn. He's just so good. He's so good.
So, tonight.
And then I don't know. I was going to say, did you see the Wednesday match?
I did not. What happened?
Darius Carter, Abby Jane.
Yes, what happened?
You know what? Abby put up a nice little fight.
Yeah.
But it was not enough.
It was not enough.
And Darius ended up getting her.
Okay. All right.
But Darius. It was a good fight. I mean.
All right, Darius.
Yeah. But so Darius moved on. So now tomorrow, which would be today, if you're listening to it on Thursday.
Yes.
Tonight's matchup is Nolo Kitano versus Saber Dorado.
Nice.
At 7:30. Then we got Janai Kai, Big Calix on Friday. And then to close out the opening round on Saturday is your champion pick, right? This is your champion pick, right? You picked him?
I did.
Travis Huckabee against Jay Lyon, who Jay Lyon has now been seen on AEW 2 weeks in a row.
Isn't
that crazy?
It
4 matches.
Crazy.
Events got. I mean, props to the main event for all the hard work.
Dude,
I mean,
for real.
And they look goddamn good. Like, think of their opponents. They had FTR. They had SCU.
Yep.
They had Jungle Express.
Yep. Those are top tag teams.
Yeah. I mean, they were putting on matches. They solid. So, I mean, congrats to those boys. They worked their asses off. It's paying off. You know what I mean? I mean, this really goes for all the Leapfrog people, but they bust their asses. They come in, they do great work. They're just great people. I mean, they deserve everything they've gotten with the AEW thing. Everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's your matchup on Saturday, because then Sunday will be the conclusion of the tournament on IWTV.
Oh my.
So you'll see how the rest of the bracket shakes out. And also, I don't know if you've seen some of the other matches that have been announced.
No.
Did you see some of the other matches that have been announced that are not tournament matches?
No.
Well, there's a big one. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I would even say this is the co-main event.
Uh-huh.
Besides the finals.
Is this the one with Edith?
We got Edith Surreal and Masha Slamovich.
Yes, I did see it.
In an unsanctioned Soviet death match.
Oh my shit.
I don't know what the hell that means.
No, what does that even mean? Soviet death match.
I don't know what it means, but it is a Super Libre super fight unsanctioned, no time limit, Soviet death match. But these bitches are going to be crazy. That's all I know. Yeah. They will be crazy. I think it's going to be. I mean, because if you saw how Masha came in and ruined her art class, ruined Edith's art class, did you see that? Came in and ruined her art class.
I did see that.
Came in, ruined the whole art class. I can only imagine what is going to happen when they finally get to face off with each other. No rules, unsanctioned. It's going to be interesting. But yeah,
well,
so that's
I can't wait,
that's
man.
The big one there. Yeah,
I can't wait, especially for Sunday, man. Like, I'm gonna sit there, 8:00, put my feet up, and go ahead and see what the conclusion is, because it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And see how your bracket does.
See how my bracket does, because right now it's looking suspect.
Oh, very sus. You are very sus right now,
damn,
as the youth would say.
Well, keep going, guys. I mean, you got to watch this on Independent Wrestling Facebook for the rest of the week until on Sunday. It's going to be on IWTV for the conclusion at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
All the other matches are at 7:30, correct?
Yes, the matches on the Independent Wrestling Facebook, they're all at 7:30. So we got one Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It doesn't work the same as the NBA. Doesn't work. Doesn't work the same. Damn it. Okay. I tried. Because I like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But it's not. But it's not. But it's not.
But you look like it's in it. But it's not. But it's not.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So, silly shit. So we got... Yeah, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7:30. We got the final 3 opening session matches. Then we got the open swim coming at you on the Independent Wrestling Facebook page before the conclusion of the Frog Sport tournament, plus other matches. So look for that around 7:15, 7:30, the open swim. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think what's going to happen is if you missed all of those opening session matches, if you missed all of them, they're going to air before the open swim in order.
Ooh, that's nice.
All 8 right in order.
Hey.
So you might want to get there a little early.
Yep.
Might want to get there a little early. So you might want to get there like 6:45, 7. If you missed any of these open session matches, or you can always go back to the Independent Wrestling Facebook page and watch them whenever you want, because they are there on the Facebook page under the Camp Leapfrog section. Just find the Camp Leapfrog section or just scroll through the feed. You'll see them because there's been one every day so far since Saturday. So you can watch them then, or you can watch them all together on Sunday, leading right into Open Swim. And then Open Swim goes into the conclusion of Frog Sport.
Yes. Hell yes. That's nice, much lighter news. Goodness gracious.
Happy news.
Happy news. I want to kind of talk about this early baseball. We actually were the Braves and the Yankees had played. If you guys didn't know, the Maestro is a Yankees fan.
See,
and I am a Braves fan, and both our teams are looking like some dog ass shit. And just fitting is that we just split, and nobody even barely scored any goddamn runs.
No, we didn't do shit. Nobody did shit.
Nobody did shit.
The only thing Acuna didn't play for you guys.
No, Acuna did not play.
So
he did not play. We don't have Soroka. We don't have Fried. We don't have. So there's a couple people we don't have, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like we still playing like dog shit.
Yeah, we just can't hit.
Yeah, your whole lineup is
frozen. Our whole like if you look at our offense, you're like, damn, that's a great lineup. And then you look at what they've done.
Is frozen.
It's a whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Like they got nothing.
They are ice fucking cold. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is ice cold.
Yeah. It's the whole lineup up and down is ice fucking cold. That's hard.
Like nobody is doing shit.
That is hard work. Yeah. But so that's happening right now. I just want to take a look at the baseball and see what's going on. The Dodgers out here, like we thought, were raking like a motherfucker. Out here putting in work. They're fucking
as expected.
Deep as dick. Like I mean, they just have the deepest roster in the fucking league. So that's
it's as expected.
Yeah. Padres have been treading water, but that's homeboy been out for a little bit.
Yeah, Tatis.
Yeah, Tatis is out for a little bit, just like Acuna just
came out. But their pitching has also not been.
No, it hasn't been super great.
No. And they just got that one boy back today, and he got hurt again.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's no good. Let's see if we got these surprises. Like the Giants are 11-7 to start. That's a surprise.
I would say Oakland.
Oakland has been killing
because, literally, because they're 12-7 right now. Yeah. But they won their last 11 games.
So they went 1-7. They just
so they started. Yeah. So they literally went from worst to first.
Those first 6. God damn.
I don't know.
Did they play some beasts?
Probably not.
Probably not. The National League is literally within 2 games of each other. Everybody's looking.
They did. They kind of did. They played the Astros and the Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they lost. They lost 4 straight to the Astros.
Okay.
Then they lost 2 or 3 to the Dodgers.
Okay.
And then they lost. And then this is where they started fucking just winning everything. Well, no, they lost 1 more to the Astros. Fuck, they played the Astros 7 times in the first 10 games.
Damn.
And then the other 3 games of the Dodgers.
Yeah. So
they went 3-7.
Yeah.
In the first 10 games, and then they've won every game since then.
Right.
But to be fair, they beat the Diamondbacks, Tigers, swept Tigers 4 games.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened for the Twins game.
Right.
Gave them a doubleheader, but they went swept that, swept the Twins here.
Damn.
And now they get the Orioles, so they might win another.
Yeah, they're gonna win a few more.
They might win 14.
Yeah. Surprising, Red Sox are in first place for me. That's a surprise.
It is.
That's early.
I think I literally I think that whole division is upside down.
It looks like that, right?
I literally other than maybe Baltimore and Tampa Bay flipping.
Yeah.
Literally, I think that whole division is upside down.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's weird the way it looks. To be honest with you, you guys are on the super struggle bus. I'm just watching you guys just flailing that shit.
Oh, it's horrendous.
I don't know what.
It's like we pick up a bat and we're like, fuck.
What the fuck is your boy doing?
What do we
do?
do?
Not the dude that's currently in center field. Your boy who was supposed to start was on the bench right now because he cold as ice. Fuck it, what's his name? Who's your normal center fielder?
You talking about Aaron Hicks?
Yes, Aaron Hicks ain't hitting shit.
No. Well, but nobody else is either.
I know, but
it's just we have so many outfielders.
Praise God.
Oh, they're all flailing. Everybody's flailing. Jesus. Everybody's flailing. But then, we're so bad, Jay Bruce retired. That's how bad we are.
Yeah. No, Jay Bruce was like, nah.
He was like, oh,
Jay Bruce,
see this shit.
Yeah,
he's like, nah, I came here to win. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm retiring. That's it. He said, I'm gone. That's it. I'm not doing this bullshit.
And the Royals in first place.
It is early.
Oh,
it's very early.
So early.
The way too early.
It's not even in end of April yet. You know what I mean? It's so early. So it's not even on that level.
Right.
So yeah, Acuna before he got hurt was raking. Raking. He's been a fucking.
Oh
beast.
yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah, he been.
I know because on fantasy baseball,
he carrying that shit. He just carrying the whole fucking team. I know he's carrying mine.
I made some moves, and now I actually am not looking too terrible anymore. Before I was looking like dog shit when I showed you before.
Mm-hmm.
But now I made some moves, and I'm not looking as bad.
Yeah, no,
but
good.
Still, it hurts that.
That's right, because you had that fucking auto draft that fucked you up.
I did. I had the auto draft. It was not a good idea. Yeah, but some pieces weren't bad. It's just I've made some moves. So
for sure. No, so that's the beginning of this baseball season. It's just fun to watch some baseball. Actually, the MLB TV has been, the MLB TV is nice because now I can watch the post game. They have the post game show. I can just watch afterwards. Before after the game, they'd be like, "Thank you for watching." But now I can watch the entire post game show as well.
Oh, yeah, they don't do that I don't think they do that for the Yankees.
No, they don't? You sure?
I don't think so. Or at least I haven't seen it. Maybe I fell asleep too far.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do like an entire post game show and shit. Like I get to see all of it, it's a nice touch because before they just shut it off afterwards. I'm like, God damn it, I want to see some more highlights or whatever, Especially if you're winning, you want to see some of that shit. But yeah, it's loving some baseball, and then the draft is coming up next week. We got this draft coming up. I'm going to watch it because I'm super interested in what the Falcons are going to do. I have no idea if they're going to draft a quarterback or not. Nobody knows what the fuck they're going to do. So, yeah. What guys, when you're picking at all?
No, I don't.
Let me see.
I really I've.
Let me see what.
Because I thought they were gonna make some moves and do some shit. So that's why I didn't really pay too much attention to where they're falling. But it doesn't look like they're gonna do shit. So I think we're sticking at our. I don't know. Well, we're probably like. See, no, we're probably not that.
I'm just seeing the little thing in the draft. What's the 2021 draft order? Here we go. You guys are 15.
Okay.
You guys are 15.
15.
So, yeah. We'll see how you see what you guys pick at 15. I mean, I would go quarterback, but
I don't. I feel like if we're going to go quarterback, we're going to trade up.
Yeah, I agree.
So, if we trade up, sure. But I don't know. I mean, they keep thinking that that one quarterback might make it there. I forget which one it is.
Well, there's a couple that might make it there because once you get past like these first literal, because I don't know about the Falcons, but these first three, boom, 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 they're all picking quarterbacks. Jacksonville's picking quarterback. Jets are picking quarterback. Niners are picking quarterback. 1, 2, 3. Falcons don't know. Bengals are not. Miami, Detroit.
They won't. Miami won't. They should, but they won't.
I don't know what they will. I don't know what they're doing.
They won't. They won't do it.
Detroit Lions.
You think they're gonna do Tua like that right
golf, now? Unless they like golf a lot.
No, they won't. They just traded for golf. They think he's the future.
Fuck that.
I'm just saying.
The Panthers won't. They picked up Darno. The Broncos will.
They traded for him.
Broncos will because that dude is a fucking mess.
I mean, they pick a quarterback every year.
That's true.
Because they can't find anybody.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys won't. The Giants won't. The Eagles maybe, but probably not. I think they're going to wait one more year. The Chargers.
I think they're going to give Jalen Hurts a try. Chargers won't.
Vikings probably not. Then you have Patriots. So you might you might get a good quarterback in there.
I might get one of those 5.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Unless the Falcons pick one again, like Falcons could pick one, and then it kind of fucks everything up for everybody. But I think we might go. I think we might do that tight end. There's this tight end, Kyle Pitts or whatever his name is. I think his name is. He's a monster. So
because you need a tight end.
Yeah, we need something over there.
You got no Algie Crumpler right now.
Oh my God. Throwing it back to Algie. Algie was like my favorite player, bro. Like, I loved Algie. I love me some Algie Crumpler, man. He's the only dude that can catch fucking Michael Vick's passes, man.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like, he's the only one who can catch them. I don't know what that was about. Like, he had some hands on him. Jesus. Yeah. I love me some Algie. But like, I think if they go ahead and I'm thinking about it because Cincinnati for sure won't. For sure.
Yeah. No.
And I'm thinking for sure Carolina won't. I'm thinking for sure Dallas, the Giants, Chargers.
Honestly, I don't think any of those. I really don't think any of those teams are going to take a quarterback. Like Miami, just like they're not going to do that to Tua.
Yeah, I would. He looked like shit, and I think he's injury prone.
But I don't like just because you would doesn't mean the Dolphins will.
I know they should listen to me.
They should.
They should.
I mean, they should have
listened. Injury prone, like for real.
I'll tell you who should have listened to us years ago was the Eagles.
It's fucking Eagles.
They should have listened to this podcast when it started. So you're saying, God damn it.
They should have done it. They should have.
No, it's just a little too late.
I'm very interested to see what he does with the Colts next year. I really am.
Because he might actually be good.
If he's actually good.
Because now he went back to his boy.
There you go.
That's the thing. Like, coaching does matter.
It does. It does matter.
Coaching does matter. So, like, yeah. But I really don't think Miami's going to take a quarterback. I don't think they're going to do that to Tua because that's just going to fuck up another young mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they see what's happened to others. I don't think they're going to do that.
Dude, they've been talking that shit on Carson Wentz, bro.
It's all coming out now that he's gone.
Facts. Like
all the shit that was underneath the entire time.
Yeah. That shit is coming out. I was like, damn.
It was like the shit we knew, but we didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was never confirmed, but we were like, I don't think they like him.
No.
Yeah, they don't.
Right there.
They don't. They don't give a fuck. Like
phenomenal.
They don't like him. Yeah.
No, they do not. No, it's yeah. I am very excited for this week coming up. Like I said, it's the NFL draft coming up. I am always a big fan of the NFL draft. I'll probably go to a bar and partake.
What time does it start?
I think it's like 8 o'clock or something like that.
Because I think I'm done at 7:30, so maybe.
Oh, you might be able to get there late.
Maybe.
Let me know.
I'm tempted now.
Let me know.
You gotta go see Homegirl.
No, I don't think she's gonna be there.
You don't think so?
Nah, because she's done. She quit.
Oh, that's right. I forgot your fucking.
Oh yeah, we're Facebook friends. We're Facebook friends.
Why do you Facebook friend you're Facebook friends with everybody. Like dude. All the fucking bartenders and shit.
I know.
Is everybody.
I know.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
So she quit. She gone.
She quit. And I'm mad about it. I said I was mad about it. What the fuck?
Oh no, why'd she quit?
God damn.
Did she say why she quit?
No. I think she's just starting her own businesses and shit. Like she got some shit going on. Like she's a hustler. Like she got like ton of jobs. Like has a cleaning business. She sells dildos and shit. Like she does. Like I'm dead. Specs.
I didn't. Oh god, that one caught me. Didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Like that's the.
Does that go along? Does that go along with the cleaning business?
Wouldn't it be amazing though? Like, think it's hilarious.
Let me clean your pipes.
Oh shit! No, but she got a whole bunch of shit going on. She got that shit. She got some else shit going on too. Like I don't know. She's out here hustling. Yeah, she's out here making the money. Good
for her. Work it. Fucking work it, man.
Yeah, I mean, do your thing. But yeah, she's out. So like I mean. I figured I'd go back there. It's a football-related thing, so I figured I'd go there to watch some football-related shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, if you want to come, let me know, and then I will meet you there. I will meet you there.
I mean, it would take me. I probably wouldn't get there till like later.
Yeah, I figured.
I might get there for my first pick, maybe.
Maybe.
Nah, I'll probably miss it.
No, I don't think you will. That shit lasts for a while.
That's true. They get like 5 or plus. They like each team gets like 5-6 minutes from the clock, don't
shit
they?
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let me know Let me know what's good,
maybe.
and then
okay.
you just let me know, and I'll be like, all
okay.
right. Be like, if you feel like making it, okay, I'm making it. I'll meet you over there. If not, no big deal.
Well, are you going regardless, or are you just going?
No, I'll go if you go. I'll go if you go. If not, I'll just go to a bar around there, this area here. Watch the draft.
Well then let's just do it. Fuck it.
All right, cool.
You made this decision on air. Let's do it.
Bam. It is done. It is written.
Let's do it.
So
you just might have to text me to remind my ass that.
Yes, I'll text you. No problem. Yeah. No worries.
Because I don't want to forget. Yeah. I might forget.
No worries. Yeah, I'm just yeah. I just like the draft, like especially like the first day and just doing the shit and just I like that shit. It just gets me all ready, like, oh, football's coming soon type of shit, even though it's not really. But like it's just like, hey, who are we picking? Especially this year. For me, like this year, like last year wasn't that big a deal, even though we had a nice pick or whatever. But like this year, I'm like, I want to see what we're doing because we got the fourth pick. I can't remember the last time we had the fourth pick was like Julio Jones and shit. Like that's when we were up there that far. And before that, when we were that far ahead, was Matt Ryan. So like, we had some good
make
picks.
A splash.
Yeah, some good.
Gonna make a splash.
I'm thinking we're gonna. I really do think we're gonna go quarterback. I just don't see. I think the quarterback will sit for a few years, but I think it'll be like a quarterback. Like I mean, for real, because he's not gonna be better. He's not gonna be better than Matt Ryan like right away. And if he is, then he'll start. Like you know what I mean. Like and that's fine. Like I'm cool with that. If you're better than Matt Ryan, cool.
Well, you let Matt Ryan go. Let him go somewhere else.
Yeah, Matt Ryan will go somewhere else.
Or maybe that's the whole. Maybe that's the whole thing is that they're looking to transition him out.
Maybe now, if they don't pick a quarterback, then I know that they're going to stick with him for about 3-4 more years. You know what I'm saying? Like that is what it is.
It's not necessarily the worst thing.
Oh no. I mean, again, like I still like Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. He's just not probably not what he once was. But again, he's been in a shitty offense coordinator type of situation. So, so maybe this guy, because he's he made fucking Ryan Tannehill a goddamn savant. So like I'm just thinking to myself, maybe this shit might be decent. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all I got for this week. It was a lot this week, but not really. There's not a lot of topics this week.
It was big topics this week.
Big topics. Big topics this week, but not a lot of little bit of topics. So, yeah, we'll end it there this week for the Sweatshop Podcast. Please like, follow, share, all those things. We are now on Anchor FM. Please. Spotify. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. And I think we are now on Apple. We're like I'm trying to get all my shit together, man. I'm trying to get all this shit together. So now we're on Apple and shit. Apple Podcasts. So look it up in that motherfucker. You can look us up at the Sweatshop Pod is our handle. Oh, and we have a link tree too. It's there of all the little things. Boop, boop, boop. Right? Link tree, Sweatshop Pod, all that shit. It's everywhere. We are also on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook as well, like as far as just looking us up goes. Look us up again at the Sweatshop Pod or just the Sweatshop Podcast. All right, brother, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming up with the HTW network as well, in addition to obviously our weekly dose of the Sweatshop Podcast. But we also got many shows coming your way. I believe there's a new episode of the Three Ropes podcast out with Scott Fineout. So check that out. We got that show. We got Moran and Friends, which Moran and Friends has now moved to Tuesdays. So if you were a religious follower of that, they've now moved to Tuesdays. So you get your podcast a little early. You get to have your Moran and Friends early in the week now because they moved over to Tuesdays. So you can check that out. I know there's a new episode of that out there as well this week. You can also check out, there's a brand new episode of High Tension Wellness where we talk about myself, the Kilowatt, and Anthony Blackwell talk about oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the topic? I talked about it for literally 2 hours and it was amazing. We talked about affirmation, we talked about motivation, and we talked about inspiration. That's what it was. So we talked about inspiration, motivation, and then affirmation and how those things, can impact your life and all the different things you can do to help yourself within those different things. And we talked about some really cool and some really deep stuff on that episode. So go check that out as well for the High Tension Wellness episode there. We also got backlog episodes of Hitting the Mat on there. We also got the Positive Wrestling podcast on there. Hopefully I'm not forgetting any of the other shows we got on there. And obviously we got some other shows coming out that are in the works that hopefully will be debuting within the next couple months or so as we're gearing up toward a summer run here. But you can find all of the HTW Network stuff on our YouTube channel. All the shows are on there, all the stuff, you can find that. So if you just search up HTW Network or HTW Podcast Network, it's all on there. Or you can find not only this show, but all of those other shows on all of the podcast streaming platforms, Spotify, I guess Apple Podcasts now, Anchor, whatever it is. You can either look up us by the Sweatshop Podcast, or you can just look up HTW Network or HTW Podcast Network. You'll find us. You'll find all those other shows that I've listed, and you can listen to them there as well. And along with some high tension wrestling, we've got Camp Leapfrog and Frog Sport coming up. So we still got opening session matches. They're rolling out for the remainder of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all at 7:30, all on the Independent Wrestling Facebook page, leading up to the final enchilada on Sunday, which Sunday at 8 o'clock is when the conclusion of the tournament and some other matches will happen on IWTV itself, which if you are still not subscribed to IWTV, first of all, what you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
You are missing out on so much. But if you don't have a subscription, use that promo code Leapfrog. That'll get you a 5-day free trial. Also, we've got some merch up there. We've got not only our Camp Leapfrog shirt, but we've got our Frog Sport shirt up on the shop IWTV, which we are getting some of those issues fixed. We had some issues, a little bit of issues with the Frog Sport shirt. Those are getting fixed.
Oh, good.
And hopefully, and everybody will either get a refund or get the Frog Sport shirt that they deserve, because I know we had a little bit of issue with that, but we got that all fixed now. And that takes place so we got that on IWTV, the Independent Wrestling Facebook page. We'll have the open swim, have the opening session matches for you to watch on that Sunday as well, in case you missed them during the rest of the week. So catch that. You can look at all the announcements. You can look at all the predictions. You can find the Frog Sport bracket, which it's too late to enter the contest, but you can see how the contest is moving. If you go to tinyurl.com/frogsport, you can see the tournament and how it's progressing so far. You can see who's in the lead right now with the most points. I'll give you a hint. It's not Sweats. He sucks right now.
God damn it.
Sorry. But we do have some perfect brackets right now, so you might want to keep eyes on that, because some people right now do have perfect brackets as it stands. But we'll see what happens as we go into Frog Sport. And as always, follow Camp Leapfrog on all social media at Camp Leapfrog. You can do that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also find High Tension Wrestling and the HTW Network at High Tension HTW across all the social media platforms. You can find little previews, clips, and teasers of different episodes and stuff like that on there. You can always follow me on social media at Maestro A. Scott for some of the other things I may or may not be doing in the future. I'm trying to think if that's everything. Yes, that is everything.
Everything is everything. My dude,
I get more and more every time, man.
Hey, no, it's good.
Lots of shit happening.
Yeah, we gotta plug that shit in between. We should do like these little things in between.
We should think about doing like the little commercials and shit in between, where it's like, did you ever think about bip?
We should.
Well then, take Viagra. No, whatever that shit.
Totally
for Blue Chew, do a Blue W commercial. Hey, Blue
I'm totally about that, because we got all these cool podcasts on the HTW Podcast Network, and a lot of things going on with Camp Leapfrog and High Tension.
Hey,
so, I mean,
the HTW Network is open for sponsors. So if you want your business, you want your podcast, you want your whatever it is, shout it out on air through the HTW Network. Just hit us up. Find us on social media, DM us, and we can get you set up with a sponsorship for sure. Because I know I am ready to read some sponsorship ads. I know that. And I know a lot of our other shows will be willing and ready to do that as well.
All right, y'all. For me and the Maestro, we are closing up shop.